There'll be a rose between two thorns.
I was thinking.
All right, so we'll call the meeting to order. Looks like so on the agenda for tonight, we have Darlene Johnson, County Assessor candidate. On the agenda, Darlene can't make it tonight. She was able to make it tomorrow, but when we bumped it up to Wednesday, she couldn't make it, so she won't be here. So that leads us to Joan Titus with the Lyle Lions Club. She's here to give a presentation on the annual food basket and give us a little bit of information on how that works, where it comes from, who it goes to. Take it away.
Sharon called me last Wednesday and asked me if I would say something about the Christmas food baskets in Lyle. And she said, or send somebody who knows about it. Well, I've been with it from the beginning. And I asked Jim today, my husband, how many years have we been doing food baskets? And he said, forever. And that's about right, too. It seems like forever. And I'll give you a little history of how it got started. The bus drivers from the Al Radke and Charlotte Danes, they kind of, and there were other bus drivers too, they all kind of decided that they wanted to get in the Christmas spirit, so they would fix up Al's motorhome, put lights on it, have music, and they went around town and gave out candy canes. And so they did that for a couple of years. And the Lions Club thought, well, maybe we better give them a little money and help them out. So we gave them some money, and they kept doing it for a while. And I think maybe they decided, well, we'll do a few food baskets too. So that's what they did. But like a lot of those things, they got tired of doing it. Different drivers came in, they weren't interested in doing it. And so we took it on. And it probably started with about 15 to 20 baskets, and then we also gave gifts, and so this started probably about 1988. So it's been going for about 25 or 30 years. Like I said, it seems like forever. I've been with it, we've been with it from the start, the get-go. We're now up to 75 to 80, more than 80 baskets every year. So I'm going to give you information that I anticipate you want to know, like the questions you might ask me. I'm kind of anticipating that. And so you want to know probably, where do you get your list of names? Well, we cover the area, we've decided, of the Lyle School District. That includes Dallasport, Lyle, High Prairie, Appleton, all those areas. And every once in a while, we get a click-attack person. And they sneak in on our list. But that's okay. Our philosophy is, even though people have been on the list for a long time, we still keep them on there. And we give to people who, oh, maybe they're not really needy, but they're needy enough that they might need a little hand up during Christmas time. And you'd be surprised how nice people are at Christmas time. We get requests, can I help you? What can I do? Can I come in and sort? Anything that they want to do. Okay, so we get our main list from the teachers in the schools. And they give us kids that they think whose families might need a basket. And then we get some from individuals. Like you might call me up and say, I know somebody who needs a food basket. The white salmon just had their dinner to raise money for their Christmas food baskets. And then they have an application, and this application is for anybody. But anybody who is a Lyle, has a Lyle address, they give those applications to us. And so we take care of those people. I have a Native American contact for our Native American population. The Klickitat School District sometimes gives us names because people who live up in the Appleton area, a lot of those people go to the Klickitat school just because of the bus, a lot of times because of the bus ride. And then people sometimes submit themselves. They'll say, I need a food basket. And I do this with a happy heart. And if anybody comes to me and says, I need a Christmas food basket, they'll go on the list. And I feel bad when somebody comes and says, is my name on the list? I really could use a basket. And I'm saying, I didn't get your name. And we've got all the baskets fixed and we have all the food fixed. Sometimes it's desperate enough that we can take, we have so much that we can take some from a little bit from a few of the baskets and make an extra food basket so that those people get served. And who do we miss? And we do miss the very young with families who might have preschool kids and they're living out in a travel trailer out by the travel trailer park, out by the bridge. And they'll say, oh, they need it even worse. And somebody will come in and say, you got any extra? Because they need it worse than I do. And I think, oh my goodness, we missed them. The elderly living alone, we miss those. People homeschooling, we miss those. So like I said, I am very lenient about it because I do it with a happy heart, and that's just my belief. And do I get criticized for it? Yes, but I don't care. Okay. So maybe you want to know how many baskets and where do we get the money? Is that a good question? Yeah. Okay. In 2013, we gave out 84. That served 318 people. And 2014, last year, that was 2012. 2013, last year, we gave out 81 baskets and served 292 people. That cost $2,994. And you say, oh my gosh, where do you get the money? It's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. And we're so thankful that organizations like you give us money, individuals give us money. We get donations from $5 to $1,000 from individuals. The Lyle Celebration Church, a lot of these people have been donating for years. And we always thank them, and we're just so thankful that they do. There's a Charity of Choice Foundation, and the person who is now living in, I think it's North Dakota, saw that on the computer, and so she gave a donation because she had been the recipient of a basket. That kind of warmed my heart, doesn't it? And what do we, maybe you want to know what we put in the baskets and where do we get the food. Our aim is for a breakfast and a dinner. We don't have to usually buy any canned goods. The Dallasport Fire Department does a blitz in in Dallasport on a certain night, and they canvassed them for the donations, and last year, I think they told us there were 2,400 pieces of food donated. And they donate everything, baby food, diapers, coffee, and this all goes, they bring it, last year they brought it in totes, they were all lying down in the Lions Club. The high school and the middle school, they had a breakfast cereal contest. And so they gave us 214 boxes of cereal. And so that goes a long way. Underwood Fruit gives us apples. Seneca Foods through Larry Holiday gave us 5 cases each of applesauce and pears. And then we get carrots from the Bolt Farms. Now the Bolt Farms used to be Mercer Farms, and they're clear out in the eastern part of the county. In fact, part of them is in Benton County. So we contacted Larry Holiday when he worked at Fred Meyer, and we said, could we get these little bags of carrots to put in our Christmas food baskets? And he said, well, I'll check into it. So he checked into it for us, and yeah, we could. Well, somebody has to go way out there and forever to get the carrots, which they did, got the carrots, bring them back. Then we have a storage problem, and both farms are so generous. But one time their truck was going through, so they delivered it to us. And they wouldn't leave us a whole pallet. Well, you know how many carrots are in a whole pallet? Tons of them. So we always have a little bit of a storage problem. Well, this last year, down at the corner park, they stored it in their coolers for us. Before, we had to put them out in our little shed out behind the Lions Club. Okay, so that's all well and good, as long as the weather stays nice. But if it freezes, then you got a problem, because you're going to freeze your carrots, then you're not going to have your carrots. So then we have to say, oh, the weather's getting too cold. Got to go get an extension cord, run it from the Lions Club, put a light in there, and save the carrots. Okay, and the items that we buy, we get our hams. This is what we put in the baskets, besides I'm talking about the canned goods that we get. Okay, we get our hams from Cash and Carry. We get our bread from Fran's Bakery. And the grocery outlet is another generous organization or store, because they give us a 10% discount. And they will do that for anybody who is doing charitable work. And we buy milk, eggs, oranges, bananas, cookies, hot chocolate packets, jam, mac and cheese, peanut butter, powdered potatoes, candy bars, snack crackers, pancake mix, spaghetti, margarine. That came to $2,554.95. So, anyway, then we have to assemble all of this and get it together. So after the senior meal on Tuesday, we put all the chairs aside, and then we have all of our tables, so we don't have to fight these chairs because they're all stacked up over there. And we go through all the non-perishables and categorize them. Like all the beans go in one spot, all the corn goes in another, etc. We get our boxes from Underwood Fruit. And then one of those days, we have to assemble those because they're all broken down and tape them back up. And then we set them on our tables. And they're put on the tables according to the family size. And we put a sheet on each box. So we take the small baskets, and these are 1 to 2 people. So they get a small one, and they get a third of a ham. Then we do the medium size. That's yellow. 2 to 4 people, 3 to 4 people. And then the large baskets are the blue, and that's 5 people plus. So I have all these lined up, and this is taped to whatever side, you know, your box with their name, how many adults, how many kids, so that when we're putting stuff in baskets, we know how many we have. And if there's a baby, we put baby down there so that if there's any baby food, it gets put in that basket. Last year we had 25 pink, 31 yellow, which is medium size, and 24 blue ones, which are the large size. The blue ones get a whole ham, and the medium size get half a ham. And the single 1 to 2 people get a third of a ham. Did I say a third? Yeah, a third. The day before, we go over town and we buy our perishables. And of course, we have already ordered these through Grocery Outlet. And as I say, as I had baskets in the last few minutes, I call up and I say, I need another half gallon of milk and I've got a dozen more of eggs and another bag of cookies and whatever. According to the family size. And then the day of, we cut up our hams, put them in the baskets, and well, we put everything then into the baskets. So then how do we contact the recipients and get the food delivered? Well, we have to have them come pick up their basket if they possibly can. But about 5 to 7 days before we're scheduled, I call them and I say, can you come pick up a basket? Well, no, I work. Well, how can we get this to you? So we have different ways that we try to get baskets to people. We have a person in Lyle, Jack Bryan. He'll deliver to some of the people in Lyle. Frances Rodriguez is out at Murdoch. She does some delivering. And it's really nice when those people come. And then John Wolf of Dallsport Firemen, he delivers a lot. And then my Native American contact makes sure that those people come and then they deliver and then they deliver to each other. So we get them used up. What are some of the problems that we have? Number one is weather. One year we couldn't give milk because the delivery truck was coming up the gorge and the gorge was closed. So they couldn't get there, but they were coming later. So the people who were going to pick up the milk gave me a call and said, shall I wait for the milk? I had people standing there and all the snow and the ice and all that stuff, and I said, no, don't wait for the milk. So that year they didn't get the milk. And people not picking up. Now you'd think if you were going to get food baskets, you'd be there stomping at the door to get it, wouldn't you? But no. They forget. They've gone Christmas shopping. They don't want to drive in the bad weather. You know, we have all kinds of reasons why they don't come pick them up. Even though I've called them 5 to 7 days before, or I have sent out a card to let them know, you've got a food basket, come get it. Not having people, like I said before, not having people on the list who could sure use a basket. And then we have complainers, but I tell them, no complaining, because we do this with a happy heart. Why are they getting a basket? You know, they don't need it. Well, yes, they do. And another problem is kids whose last names are different from their parents. So the school may give me the name of a child, and they don't necessarily get the right name with that kid whose parents. So I might get, and I have to figure this out, and I'm getting pretty good at it, of who goes with what. You know, who's the person that gets the basket? See, it's not gonna. We probably give baskets to people who don't need it, necessarily need it, and we miss some who do. But we try, and we do this project with a happy heart. So, that's it. Do you have any questions? Yes?
What do you think or suspect would be the average cost per basket and guesstimate?
The guesstimate is probably about $60, and of course the smaller ones are not going to cost as much as the larger ones. But everybody gets a dozen eggs, and the large baskets get 2 dozen, for instance, and a loaf of bread as opposed to 2 loaves of bread, and the size of the hams are different. But the hams, of course, is a big cost item. But we try not to have anything left, and we really can't have baskets left because we don't have any place to store them. There's no refrigeration for them. Yes?
Do you ever get any, or have you asked the sheriff's department for any referrals?
No, but that's a good idea.
They see many people that possess them when they see their homes.
That's true. Yeah, thank you, that's
The
good.
reason I say that is because what they do that all the time. And they have their own groups system of sunshine
Right.
they do year round, but they do take the pills from the police officers when they go to homes.
That'd be a good idea. Yeah, I didn't even know that. That is hard sometimes. And you know, people try to work the system, like 2 people are living together with the same kids, different last names. So each of them puts in a name down at the food bank, wherever we're going to do it with that community baskets and white salmon. So I get those applications, and then I have to realize, hey, I've written down that phone number once, I think, and then you kind of realize, hey, there are 2 people asking for a basket when it's only 1 unit. Yeah. So you get all that kind of stuff. But we're still happy. Yes.
I know our community has supported this for many years, and last year as a community council member, I had the pleasure of bringing a check to you for our contribution, and I hope I will have that same pleasure this year.
Thank you.
The concerns we've raised in our discussions is that we really hope that we are supporting somebody in our community. And I guess that the other concern we have is we would hope that there is some recognition that we did this. I have been a Lions Club member, I've been a Kiwanian. I support those kind of efforts, but I think it needs to be, the credit for what gets done needs to be shared to include the people that provided the
Funds.
funds.
Well, we tried every year to send out a thank you.
Well, I saw your little thing there, and I would hope it could be more than just a few organizations, that it could include all the people that contribute money in some way.
Oh, okay. All right. We just, yeah, okay. So you're saying extend this a little bit? Yeah, that's a good idea.
Anyway, that's my input.
Well, the organizations, we
And I
can't.
hope I get to see you here too.
Okay, that's right. I want to see you too. Yeah, that's really, really nice. And we appreciate every dollar that we get. Like I say, it's really, really nice at Christmas time, like our pastor says. Christmas gives people an excuse to be nice. I think that's true.
What percentage of the requests you have are you unable to fulfill? how much in the way of needs goes unmet? Do you need a hundred?
Remember, I'm doing it, and anybody that requests gets a basket.
So could you put out 120 baskets or 150 baskets? I'm just curious, because I mean, obviously, we can't, some people are gaming the system, but like you said, you're working with a happy heart, so you have no idea who's legitimate and who is not. But if they're even including the folks who are quote unquote don't have legitimities, would you end up with 120 or 150 baskets?
Well,
It's possible, but it would stretch our facility.
yeah, our table's about full
Okay.
with basket, yeah. Top and bottom, that is.
We may have, we could do it maybe a different way.
So what I'm asking is, do you need a lot more money, or are you just good with where you are?
We're pretty good with where we are right now,
Okay.
because the Lions Club itself designates the month of December proceeds.
Okay.
And then we have a jar set out for donations at the November and the December breakfast. Yeah.
You got good coverage. Thank you.
Yeah, it would be nice if we could do that many baskets, but, and you're concerned about high priority. I mean, can any of you right now think of somebody who needs a food basket?
If you can't think of them right now, but you can later get in touch with, that's the only way we can know.
So if I think of somebody and you, I give them their name and address, and you live with them and you're rather ashamed to accept, does that happen? They turn it down, if they don't know. So if we know somebody, we should talk to them and ask them if they'd like to.
That would be wonderful, yes. And we do have people occasionally who say, turn down, I don't need it. But like I said, some people will not come and pick it up. But we've had, and I kind of get tired of leaning on certain people, will you take this basket to so-and-so because I know they live by them? And just because I know they don't answer to say, yes, I will come and pick up my basket. They just don't do it. It's very frustrating.
Joanne, how could they apply? How could they apply for a basket?
They can just call me.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a form.
No,
Already on from Denver, actually.
yeah, you can leave your name and address and how many people there are in the family. And we need all that information because we need to know what size basket.
I think just out of interest, Chris Dowden took the lead on doing a big event last summer, a dance and food and everything, and then donated, but how much most of that income from that dance.
That's really nice.
But that's all under the HPCC Age of Society. It's just
Yeah.
find a bus group of individuals right here in this room, including this young lady right
I
here.
know.
She spearheaded the whole thing. So blame her.
Okay, all right. So, thank you.
So what is your phone number, Joanne?
365 2870.
It's okay to publish it
Sure.
for a contact person.
Absolutely.
All right, is that, are there any other questions? Thank you very much. So the next order of business is approval of minutes from the last meeting. Mr. Sawyer.
Motion to approve the business.
It's been moved to a second.
I have a correction. It says I gave a report at the last meeting, but I wasn't here. So, it's a mystery.
Where did it say that?
Under the committee report, my third report.
Who maybe made that through somebody else?
Yeah, how did that go?
Because that did come up, the deadline.
It was in the paper, I know. and they got it.
Well, maybe so, yeah. Didn't say you were here to say that. No, really. Was Jake here? Shaking.
Not working. Anyway,
We knew that the deadline was last minute, or today.
I think we said it for,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so it was moved. Do we have some? Okay, we'll correct that then.
Well,
Or-
does it need
Well, I
a
don't think she would have written it.
It was said.
Yeah. Did,
Are you good with that?
Boy, oh, keep my notes.
did Jake, was Jake here?
Yeah.
No.
It was brought up.
Yeah,
It was
That
brought up,
that
and
was-
yeah. So somewhere along the line, we knew that Gwen wanted. Yeah.
Said in the library. The deadline was.
Yeah.
So do we want to strike Gwen's name and then just,
Should I say Cindy?
uh,
Cindy sort of reminded us too through Fred.
how about it was recorded? How's that?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so we made one change to the minutes from the last meeting. So it's been moved to approve the minutes as amended.
It hasn't yet, but.
It's been approved, it's been moved to approve the amended minutes. Is there a second? Okay, there's a second. Any issues? All those in favor? All those opposed? Let's forget that, all those opposed. Okay, motion carries. Some announcements that came up. First of all, please remember to sign in as always. Also, a reminder to everybody that the meeting is being taped and being put online for reference. So if anybody, I noticed it's kind of a light turnout tonight. A lot of regulars aren't here. If there's any questions, if anybody wants to know what Joan Titus talked about, or if you need to go back and refer to something that she might have said, we have that documented. So I just wanted to bring that up. The web address, which I think we should start putting down on here, is highprairiecommunitycouncil.wordpress.com. So that's where that is. And then the third announcement is we are going to be placing a donation jar to benefit James Amory's wedding. So if you are inclined to donate to the Amory wedding party that's coming up, right? November 1st, we will be taking donations and submitting them to them at a later date. So that brings us to officers' reports. And I don't have anything under officers' reports. Did Sharon Allison have anything to say?
She does, but
It's down there. Okay, so do you have anything you'd like to bring up?
Oh, just that I sent a thank you to that Wayne Trotsky or something like that's his last name. Anyway, in Lyle, he helped us out to get about 20-some loads of dirt for our yard out here. And I invited him to the dinner. So anyway, that went on the mail yesterday. Oh, and I asked him to RSVP.
Okay, moving on to the treasurer's report. Mr. Henschel.
I'll do it from here. I don't like to sit up here as an old infantryman. I keep my head down. Anyway, my report is that the balance I reported last month was $23,847.71. This month we've had debits of $291.39. The debits, some minor things to the Secretary of State, office supplies, High Prairie supplies, and we did make a very significant expenditure to buy tarps from Coastal Farm Supply when they were half price on sale, and the purpose of that was for next year's fire sale. So we spent almost $7 there. So that's kind of the bulk of the $291 plus. And we had deposits of $36, which we had some Hyperion subscriptions, that's $10. And we had a donation from the Homestead Fair for the use of our shelters. So we had a donation of $25, and there was discussion about loaning those, and we appreciate that they were useful to them and that they gave us some money for their use, because someday we will have to replace it. So our ending balance right now is $23,592.32. And all the bills that I know of are received and the checkbook balances. But what I don't know is, I know we spent money for the fall picnic, and I have not received bills for that yet. So as soon as that comes in, I'll get it done, and we'll report it. If we have a brief meeting in December, but I'm sure we can cover the cost.
All right, that's good to know. Thank you for that. Moving on to the fire district report. We have anything?
We haven't had very much activity in the last month. Just two events. There was a report of smoke down at Indian Point. We got down there and looked and couldn't find anything. And then there was a medical call down in Lyle. One person went down and assisted with a living person. It's wood burning season again, so it's flue fires or something to be concerned about. You might all want to make sure your flue is clean before you really get a good hot fire going. And the only other thing I think of to advise is, we get a little rain like this and it lifts the summer's oil drippings out of the pavement and makes the road a little slicker. So that's something to think about when you get on those curves. We have a new member, Jim Day. Would you like to stand up and take a bow? This is our new library. And let's see, Ron McDonald is also joining the fire department. Think of anything else?
We did have our emergency vehicle training.
Okay. Did you go?
There were 3 of us.
Okay. Yeah. Emergency vehicle driver training. That looks good to get out of the way.
All right, thank you. Moving on to committee reports. The Sunshine Committee's up first. Ms. Benz, Ms. Schuster.
Yeah, I just sent a card to Bill Stallings, who's dealing with some health issues.
Anything else?
No, unless somebody wants to give me some more names.
Okay.
I have something, I don't know if you knew Helen, she passed away October 6th. Helen Holland, she lived in Leslie's place.
Helen Holland.
Her hiatus was October 5th.
Great.
Welcome committee's up next. Ms. Schuster. Really? The Community Center Committee. Ms. Richards, nothing? Ms. Berry, seeing as you are here, do you have anything to add under the Hyperion?
I'd like to remind you that the last meeting was the deadline for,
Right.
you know,
Yeah, we got that.
we're
last one was very nice, very well.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. Moving on to unfinished business, directory update. The one thing that we kind of wanted to bring up there was just that the directory has been updated. We received all the information as of the deadline, but that's no reason not to submit your information for future issues of the directory. And also, if you guys know of anybody that hasn't submitted their information, go ahead and try to get them to submit any information that they want printed.
I have a question.
Yes.
Has it been worked out whether they're gonna be printed or sent around in electronic form again, or?
I got mine downloaded and printed on.
Yeah, so we.
So it's up.
It's there.
It's on Cindy's website now.
Yeah, I know Cindy sent it out. I have a printout of it. It came out 8.5 by 11. It will probably be fairly easy to edit and add new stuff, or if you put it in a binder format or something, you can write in people's phone numbers as you get them. It's alphabetical, and there's a pretty accurate map based on the Kodiak County Road Department does their map update every year. She did put a new county map in there for our area, so
Okay.
it looked pretty good to me, but I know there are many people up here that are not in the directory, and I think some of them are not in the directory at their own choice, and some of them just don't know about it, but,
So how did?
always interested in adding more people.
So do you want to give out the website? Cindy's website is highprairie.wa, isn't it?
I got it as an email, so.
Library.
.us, I'm sorry, yes.
You got an email?
I got it as an email, and if your printer has a booklet position in it, it will print a very, very nice booklet for you.
Yeah. So we punch 3 holes in it and stick it in a binder or whatever. Before we had problems because it was back-to-back
Yeah.
printing and stuff, and there's enough white space on those pages that you could pin in new people.
We had discussed printing it, if I recall correctly, and we kind of decided against it. We were going to print like a few copies.
Well, we
But-
never really figured out how to do that or how to pay for that, but it is in a PDF form right now that you can download, and if we could print some off if that's something that people want to do.
Could it be a moneymaker for us?
I don't think so. But,
It could be a sink.
We're only supposed to be giving it out to people who are in the directory.
Yeah, so. I think we do have a problem with, there are some people up here in High Prairie who don't have internet, who don't have computers. And like, for example, one person was crying on my shoulder because they didn't know anything about the fall dinner that we had. And they said, oh, they always look forward to that, but they don't have a computer. And so there's so many things that don't get to this segment of people, like, for example, the call to submit your name for the directory. So I think we need to somehow find a way to get the names and addresses of those people and still send out a postcard. I don't know if that's possible, but.
Have it come to monthly meetings.
Well,
Couple
yeah,
monthly meetings.
yeah.
So let's say, I mean, if they want to get the news, they can find a way. I mean, they
They
can
can
ask
ask
their
their
neighbor.
neighbor.
How about if we posted on that sign by the firehouse sale, you know, by the firehouse, old firehouse? You know, that one sign thing there, or if we post our events there.
that's certainly something we could look into.
There's some ideas.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it would be nice. But it's not like the meetings are a secret. You know, we have everyone. it does, sometimes they get moved around a little bit, and that's probably why we have such a light turnout tonight, but.
Of course, they would know, have known about the change in date, for example. And not that that's going to affect those people, I know, but just, there is a gap there.
I'm sympathetic, but I still think that if they know there's information that they'd like to get, that they can make arrangements with somebody to let them know.
Go to the library and use a computer. The library has computers too.
Ask their neighbor to keep them informed.
It's challenging, especially in a small community like this one.
If
So
they want to,
spread.
they could, yeah.
Or they could give us their names so somebody could contact us, you know.
If you know people like that, certainly, I don't know if there's something we could do, like send out and we also send out the high prairie, too. That goes
They
out.
don't want to use the computer, I mean, there's only so much we can do.
Right, that's
And they
true.
can get a subscription to the.
Right, they don't have to
mail it, so.
So moving on, the community potluck update.
Okay, Sharon asked me to talk for her. She wanted to thank all who brought a side dish for the community picnic. There were 40 in attendance, and special thanks to Rocky and Jeff for barbecuing the hamburgers and hot dogs.
Yeah.
Thank you. So it was a success. And then she's on for the Christmas dinner, and I made up a sign-up sheet for all these committees. She's got setup, publicity, decorating, music program, Santa and helpers, servers, video presentation, kitchen cleanup, and center cleanup. And I would pass this around without a pencil.
Yeah, there's one committee for each of us, right?
Yes. Which they can also volunteer by calling Sharon. Yeah, so, yeah, there he goes, about one. You want to start that out? Thank you.
And that was the opening.
Yeah.
All right, thanks. Is there any other unfinished business that anybody has from before? Moving on to new business. So we heard the presentation tonight from Joan Titus, and it's that time of year when we discuss and we need the community council to consider whether or not to make a donation to the food basket. So we wanted to set aside some time on the agenda to do just that. So are there any motions, discussion, questions?
What did we donate last year? $200.
Yeah.
Was not enough to sustain that kind of.
And I think that's what we put in our current budget. And I think that's
I make a motion to donate
I'm sorry.
I make a motion that we donate $200.
Rob, just, do you have a question? Or?
I do, because I know for the community dinner, the Christmas dinner, holiday dinner, whatever we call it now, we bring canned goods. Now, does that, and I brought them to the food bank last year. Should we continue bringing it to the food bank, or could we combine it instead of do the Lions Club thing? That's a good idea.
She said that they don't purchase.
It's all donation.
It's all donation.
You know, it's working out difference to me, but.
So that's a timing thing in a way. I mean, our dinner will be early enough that if we had things left over that weren't perishable, we could donate that to the Christmas baskets.
And we always bring
But
candidates.
I would think we should still give them some money, and that
Yeah.
would just be another add-on that we could do later if we had stuff left over.
Okay, yeah.
I would make a comment taking a step further, having a suggested contribution of 1 or 2 cans of food at the Christmas dinner to get walking the door. So that we give $200 cash, and if we give them 50 or 60 cans of food, we're just upped our contribution.
Okay.
And everybody's got a can of, beets that's 3 years old. It's just got
So did you want to restate your motion again?
Okay, here we go. I make a motion that we donate the $200 plus have some verbiage for the Christmas dinner saying that a suggested contribution of 1 to 2 cans of food be, so a suggested contribution before you partake in Christmas dinner. I hope that makes sense.
I'll second it.
Second, okay, I'll do best. So it's been moved and seconded to donate $200 to the Lyle food basket and to suggest a 2-can donation to the Christmas dinner for High Prairie. Is there any discussion? Seeing no discussion, move to the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. So, okay, that'll take care of that. So moving on, Neil Schuster, County Road Supervisor.
Oh, yeah, anyway, also, besides county road supervisor, Ben Parrish helped us the first time we had loads come in, and Tom Henry brought his cat down the second time. Spread most of the rest of it around, we still have some that spread around, it's parking lot. Anyway, we ended up with, I believe, 22 12-yard loads of material from that Centerville Highway project. It will make tremendous difference. The area that I tried to level out last year had found more water than anything else, has been covered with all but 6 of those loads. So there's a lot. We came up probably close to 2 feet above where we were.
Are those 6 loads still in piles? Neil, are they?
They're not total piles, no.
They're just gonna wash away now?
Well, Tom's 81 years old, and he worked all morning long,